Hello. Today we're going to be talking about the notes on the treble clef because next year in 3rd grade you'll be learning the notes on the bass clef, and you'll also learn the keys on the keyboard, and you will play the keyboards in 3rd grade. So I wanted to take this opportunity to review the treble clef notes with you. So, as you recall, there are line and space notes, and this is a line note because the note head, which is the circle part of the note, the line is going right through that note head. So this is a line note. This is a space note because the note head is in between two lines. It is in the space, so it's a space note. Okay, so treble clef looks like this swirly thing. That is the clef, which the treble clef, and that is the symbol that goes on the lines for the notes that are higher, the top half of the keyboard, from middle C on up. So the line notes are every good boy does fine. The line notes are every good boy does fine, and the space notes spell face. So if this is something that you struggle with, this is all review, but if it's something you struggle with, you might want to pause the video right now and write down every good boy does fine and face. Remember, fine rhymes with line. Every good boy does fine. Those are for the line notes. And face rhymes with space. So you do use face if it's a space note. So the first thing you have to ask yourself when you're identifying a note is whether it's a line note or a space note. If it's a line note, you use every good boy does fine to figure out what the note is. If it's a space note, you use face. So the staff is made up of 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 lines of the staff right here. And the line notes are E, G, B, D, F. Every good boy does fine. You always start on the bottom line when you do your sentence. And when we do spaces, we start on the bottom space. So every good boy does fine for the line notes. The space notes spell face. We start in the first space here, F-A-C-E. Now, if you have notes underneath the treble clef lines, see, here's our 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This note is underneath of it, but it's a space note because there's not a line going through the middle of it. So it's D. This would be D for dirty, because remember, it's a dirty face. If you have a note underneath the 5 lines and it has its own little special line, we call these lines ledger lines. If it has its own special line and it's right underneath the treble clef with its own special line, it is middle C. Middle C. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at some notes, and we're going to identify them together. So the line note, this is a line note because the line goes through the note head. So we have to do our line note sentence, which is every good boy does fine. Our first line is every. Every starts with E, so this is E. Okay, this is also a line note because the line goes through the middle of the note head. So we have to do every good boy does fine. So every good boy does, so this is D for does. This is also a line note. So we have to say every good boy does fine. Every good, so this is a G. All right, this is a space note. Here's our 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is below the lines, but it's not a line note. So it's D for dirty. If it had a line going through it, which you can kind of see I've drawn in the past when I've used this card, I've drawn a line through it. It would be middle C if it had a line through it, but it doesn't have a line through it, so it's D for dirty. Here is another space note, and I wrote in the 4 spaces, so you can see this is F, A, C, E. So this is an E, because we have to spell face, F, A, C, E. So that's E. Again, this is a space note because there is no line going through the middle of the note head. It's between the lines. It's in the first space right here. So this is an F. This note is in the second space because there's no line going through the middle of it. This line is above it. This line is below it. So it's a space note. It's in the second space, 1, 2. So we have to spell face, F, A. So this is an A. Oh, what's this? A line note. So we have to do every good boy does fine. It's not every boy does fine, because as we all know, every boy does not do fine. We have to be good, right? So don't forget that good. It's very important. Every good boy. B for boy. Okay, this is the card I had to draw middle C on because I've lost my middle C card. This is middle C. It has its own ledger line going right through it. It's under the treble clef. This is middle C. This top line note, you can tell it's a line note. The line is going through the note head. Every good boy does fine. So it's F for fine. Okay. I hope that went well. Now we're going to switch gears and take a look at the website that I want you to use. And I'm going to show you how to fix the settings on it so that it's only asking you for the treble clef notes that we just practiced in the vid just now. All right, so here we go. When you get to the website, you want to go, you click on the link that I gave you, and something like this should pop up. I need you to click on the gear and make sure and fix the settings like this. Click on clefs and just click treble clef. The treble clef should be clicked. It might already be clicked, but just double check and make sure that it's only treble clef. Then click this blue back arrow and it says treble range. We want to click on that, and we're going to use this arrow here and go click down until this note lands on its top line. Now we want this note to go up to middle C. So we're going to click up until it's on middle C. Now you can also drag the notes with the hand like this. So the top note should be on the top line, and this low note should be on middle C, which is right there. Make sure it's not down too low. This is not middle C. This is middle C. So this is what it should look like. So make sure it looks like that before you get started. Then you click the back button, and we want to make sure that accidentals looks like this. We do not want it to be blue. That is not good. We don't want that. Okay, I don't want you to do that. I want it to be off. Okay. Note names are letters, and that should be set. You shouldn't have to mess with that. You shouldn't have to mess with accidentals, but make sure it says letters. Make sure these are white and not blue. And that should be it. Then you can click over here, and when you click your answer, do not click, if you have this row with these are called sharp symbols after each letter, it shouldn't be asking you any sharp notes, and this little B is the flat sign. It shouldn't be asking you any flat notes. So I want you to stick with this middle row when you give your answer. Now your screen might not have the sharp notes or the flat notes as possibilities. But if it does, only click here, okay? Now this is the bottom line note. It's an E for every. Don't click E sharp or E flat. It's click E. If it shows up green, that means you got it right, okay? This is a space note, so we have to go F, A. So you'd click A. All right, so there should be 10 questions. I'd like you to play through it at least once. Twice would be great. It'd be great practice for you to do it more than once. But please at least do it once. If you're having a hard time, please write down from the beginning of the video, every good boy does fine, and face to help you remember. Okay, so that's it for today from me. So now it's your job to go ahead and get on that website and answer and identify those treble clef notes. All right, I hope you're all healthy and enjoying this time with your family and your pets at home. And I miss you all very much, and I can't wait till I get to see you again in person. All right, take care. Bye.